Paul was a rich guy from Tarsus. And I didn't see anything where it said his father was an official in the city of Tarsus. You can gather or speculate that since he went to talk with or be taught by, how do we say, Gamaliel? the high priest in Jerusalem, you had to be connected. Not just anybody could go do this. So a lot of it is speculation. Well, since he went there, he must be. I read one speculation in there that, again, no proof, but he thought that Paul was actually from the line of a relative in the line of Herod, the Jewish king who was in charge of Jerusalem at the time. But his line goes back, obviously, before that. And Paul and Herod were put to death. I cast my vote against them. I punished them, and I punished them often in the synagogues and tried to make them blasphemy. There's two things here. He cast his vote, the Sanhedrin, when they're brought to council. Now, just one guy does it, but they have a vote, and, the yay or nay type, I guess, thing. And Saul always went to the nay part. The other thing, if you look close, he tried to make them blaspheme. What do you think of when you hear that? How would you make somebody blaspheme Christ? Deny him, but how would you get him to do it? Think bad, huh? Waterboarding, I mean, yeah. He tortured these people to get them, and he says right there, I made them blaspheme. Most people don't blaspheme, deny Christ. Go sit on a tack, But, a little bit, save your own skin after a while. Okay, and here's where we get into Pharisees. Pharisees are a group of Jewish religious leaders who believed a person must keep every one of the tradition of Judaism, as well as the biblical commandments. The Pharisees they said they taught the law. They taught the law of the Bible. They were like everything, lockstep, from they used the Talmud, and everything had to go according to what they did. They made the Ten Commandments and others. This is it, and they all thought they kept them too. Great.
They had 613.
They had the council of 613.
613 laws.
Oh, 613 laws. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
613 laws, and they thought they kept them. Paul thought he kept them. He thought he was pretty good. Respected, but were legalistic. That's obvious. The Pharisees were respected, but legalistic. The Sanhedrin was made up of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. So, again, history. Some say it's just the Pharisees. Some say it was Pharisees and Sadducees. Okay? But they basically did the governing of the land that they were in. Under Roman law, they were the people. Next one's down, really. It even says they could make kings. So the king, they could make somebody king of Israel. Maybe not not recognized by the Romans, but they could say, Paul, you're now the king, our elected Jewish king. They had that type of power. They didn't obviously do that. And Jesus condemned them for being self-righteous and hypocritical. Okay, this is as far as I had ready to go. Any thoughts, any insights that you might have had reading the life of Paul?
Interesting with this foundation of...
He says, he claims himself to be a Pharisee of the Pharisees. That's how good he was. I wasn't a Pharisee, I was. And he taught, was there when, was it Peter and Paul? No, Peter and, he intervened for two of the apostles when they were brought before him. So, but logically, if he was there at that time, he also was there when Christ was brought before him too. So this guy has sordid history. But we know that he was really one of the top, and he taught Paul. And you ever wonder how Paul could, do all he does when he's out teaching and stuff? Did the Lord teach him all that much stuff? My gosh, that must have been some intense time. He was set up before that perfectly. He knew the Old Testament and the law inside out, upside down. So he was ready for that. He just turned his knowledge into good instead of evil. Okay? Any comments? And like I said, we got to study, but Paul was studied. You know, you got to know your Bible and